colleagues. Welcome to Asia panel of CINP. The next CINP 2020 will be held in Asia, Taipei. So you are all welcome to join this very important CINP. And we have three topics for this Asia panel. The first one is new drug, new mechanism for treatment psychotic disorder. And then we have discussed about polypharmacy. And then we have internet addiction and suicide. So the first one, because we have original antipsychotic, the dopamine theory, others now an NMDA theory. But currently, a lot of pharmaceutical companies have developed a new mechanism like PDE inhibitors and like TAR, triamine A inhibitors. So first, I'd like to invite Dr. Xu to talk about, introduce some mechanism of the PDE inhibitors.
Okay. The current antipsychotics is mainly the dopamine D2 receptor antagonist, but the efficiency is limited. It has effect on the positive symptoms, but the negative symptoms and the cognitive symptoms, the efficiency is limited. So the PDE 10A inhibitor is a new mechanism. It's intracellular expressed spectively expressed in the medium spiny neural striatum, and it has the pathways similar to dopamine D2 receptor, but it's on indirect pathways. So the adverse drug reaction is mild. It will not have severe adverse drug reaction, and it's very effective. The animal models test and the clinical trial seems that the efficiency is very good. It has the response to the positive and negative and cognitive symptoms. So I think this is a very promising issue for the
yes, a brand new mechanism.
Yeah.
As we know that the PDE5 inhibitor is very famous, the Biograph, originally developed for the hypertension, but now it's for the male impotence. It's very good product. And Dr. Miyawaki, have you done some animal study regarding this PDE?
Yeah. So we have doing what we call a comprehensive behavioral test battery on genetically engineered mice, like knockout mice and transgenic mice. And we have looked at more than 200 different strains of those mutant mice. And one of such a mutant mice is like actually PDE10A inhibitor, not inhibitor, PDE10A knockout mice.
Knockout mice.
Yeah. So we did analyze the behavior of those mutant mice from sensory motor function to emotion to social behavior to highly cognitive function like learning and memory. But very, very interestingly, we didn't find not very much behavioral phenotype of those mice except for social behavior. So interestingly, the knockout mice of PDE10A show highly increased social behavior.
Interesting.
Very selectively, without affecting other behaviors. That was what I'm quite impressed with those knockout mice. And that would be very nice in terms of
the kinds of behavior change by PDE knockout mice. The PDE-related drug can be developed for the treatment of autism spectrum disorder. Nowadays, for child psychiatrists, we are very interested in some oxytocin. Yeah, but oxytocin is very limited efficacy right now. So next generation treatment for autism may be from the PDE-related drugs.
PDE10 inhibitor may not only effective for not only for schizophrenia, but could be also effective, potentially effective for autism,
yes.
even
Intellectual disabilities.
like major depression. I'm not very sure.
Bipolar disorders.
Bipolar
disorders.
Yes.
Yes.
It's very,
so
very.
could be effective for multiple different kinds of neuropsychiatric disorder.
Yeah, I think as Asians, we have all known that Everipiprazole developed by Otsuka, Lurastone by Dainippon Sumitomo, and then others, there's PT by, maybe by Takeda. So I think our treatment goal for the patient is to improve their function, and also the pharmaceutical, they have developed a new compound for us to prescribe. So I think Professor Yamawaki will talk about how to collaborate with the pharmaceutical industry from the scientific or academic and the clinical part.
Yes. So, and during my presidency in CINP, I proposed to the public-private partnership, including this researcher, basic researcher, clinician, and also in industry, pharmaceutical company, and also its government. Because mental disorder is very heterogeneous. Disorder is very complex disorders. So it's not easy to, it's a monoamine hypothesis as mainstream, but many psychotropic drugs depend on antipsychotics is the dopaminergic hypothesis, and antidepressant is serotonin or noradrenaline hypothesis. But now it's saturated to efficacy. So now we should new strategy based on the neuroscience based. So, but each power is very limited. So that's why we need some collaboration. It's competitive collaboration. And I propose to the public-private partnership is not only, but in mega pharmaceutical company, and especially in the United States, so they are withdrawn the CNS drug development, unfortunately.
Yes.
But in Asia, especially in Japan, as you mentioned about as Otsuka, Dainippon Sumitomo, Takeda, and Tanabe Mitsubishi, so they are still active to develop to the CNS drug, psychotropic drugs, and as you mentioned, the PDE inhibitor, PDE10A inhibitor is developed by Takeda, and also trace amine associated receptor 1 is a one is a Dainippon Sumitomo.
Yeah.
So we should collaborate with industrial company and also as our clinician and basic science all together. And especially we collaborate in Asia. As the next step should be Asian responsible to the new drug development. Yes, public-private partnership should be important. Yeah.
Yes, I think we have those new mechanism drugs. It means that pathophysiology of those disorders, especially the mental disorder, is very heterogeneous. So not only monoamine, not only the NMDA, we have very many compounds that active in the cell body. So I think for the future, we have the hope that we can have much better drugs to treat our patient, including schizophrenia, bipolar, and others.
Yes. As one important is we should do very heterogeneous disorders. So we need to collect some every genomics data on biomarkers and neuroimaging data as well as the clinical data all together. But
And
we need
animal model too.
yes,
Yeah.
and also animal model.
Yeah.
So we need to collect it's a big data
Right.
and
Yes.
and using recent current AI technology
Right.
to stratificate some type, several type, and then we develop the new target. Is this type of schizophrenia or this type of depression should be this kind of mechanism drug should be. So that's why we
That's
need
our hope.
now we can get some strategy for neuroscience and also AI technology should be, and these areas should be strong at Asia.
Yes.
So we can contribute in the future.
Yeah, that's right.
I think now AI is used to differentiate the diagnosis based on the expert diagnosis.
Yes.
It's the very beginning of AI utilization in the psychiatry. Actually, I hope in the very near future, AI can make new classification
Yes.
based on the dimension of symptoms and biomarkers
Yes, yes.
from genomics and epigenomics and other imaging and other animal model data also. I think that kinds of a new classification and finding new targets for the,
Yes, yes, that's right,
the
that's right.
drug treatment is very crucial to the development of new targeted drug for specific agent for treatment,
yes.
I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, the fourth topic will be close here.
Yes.